Hi everyone, this is Gail from Rainbow Food Rocks and Rainbow Healing and Wellness, and I'm here to make sinigang today. So sinigang is a Filipino soup, and I actually grow the items that can be used for this soup. So some of these items I've actually chopped up from my garden itself, and I would encourage all of you to start growing your own food to do the same thing. So I'll show you, it's on page 69 in my recipe book, and you can see what this looks like. This is a vegan version of sinigang. So the original version, the original Filipino version, has pork usually in it, or some people use fish and some people use chicken. And I have taken that recipe, and rather than using the Mamacita's packet, I have gone and made my own spice mix. So without further ado, let's go over the ingredients. We have 12 cups of filtered water, and I'm going to put that in my pot. I'll go ahead and show you. So I have a pretty large pot here, as you can see, and then I'm going to have 1 yellow onion, 2 cups of strained tomatoes, a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 2 small Daikon radishes, tamarind paste, 2 teaspoons, I'm sorry, that was 1 teaspoon of tamarind paste, by the way, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 3 cups of fresh spinach, 1 of the 10-ounce packages of frozen chopped okra. In this case, though, I've used the okra from my garden, 4 cups of frozen green beans, you can also use fresh, and 4 serrano chili peppers. There's an option to put in dried chili flakes as well. And then I'm using 2 14-ounce cans of young jackfruit. And this is traditionally served with rice. You can also do cauliflower rice or just eat it alone as a soup, whichever works for you. And I usually add my nettle salt and some black pepper, and that's just to my own taste and liking. So let's go ahead and put in our 12 cups of filtered water. So I'm just going to go by 2-cup measuring cup over here. And while I'm doing this, I'll let you know that I have a class coming up. It's called Food as Medicine, and that is going to be on August 14th from 3 to 5 p.m. And that's being hosted by the East West Bookshop in Bothell, Washington. The class will be on Zoom. And I also have a yoga class coming up in September. It'll be on September 11th. I'm up to 6 cups here, mind you. And that will be from 10 to 11 a.m. Again, that's Arizona time on Zoom on September 11th. If someone wants to learn beginner's yoga, so we're on to 10 cups. I'm going to stop here at 10 cups, and I can always add more just because I don't want it to splash too much on me. So I'll go ahead and put this here. And what we're going to do, and if you notice in my book, I always have a plan ahead and a once ready section. So in the plan ahead section, it talks about peeling and dicing the onion and slicing the Daikon radish. I also grow my own Daikon radishes, by the way. So if you live in Arizona, you can actually grow them from the sprouting seeds. So instead of making them into sprouts, just grow them into full radishes. And destem and slice the chilies if using, which I've already gone ahead and done, and I'll show you. And then once you're ready, you fill the large pot with water, which is what we just did. And then we put in the diced onion, the strained tomatoes, the Daikon radish, the lemon juice, the tamarind paste, the garlic powder, the onion powder, salt, which is going to be sea salt, or Celtic sea salt in my case, nettle salt, pepper, and then if you're using the red chili flakes or the chili peppers. And you're going to put that on the stovetop and you're going to bring it to a boil. So let's go ahead and start putting some of those ingredients in the pot. So if I go in order here, we're going to do the diced onion, and I went ahead and diced my onion ahead of time, so you can see that. I'm just going to put it in the pot, so it's really easy peasy. Once you've done all your prep work, it's so simple. So I'm just use my fingers, you get that all in there. And then what was next? The strained tomatoes, and I believe it was, when we were going over, I think it was 2 cups. So I am using the jovial because this is almost about 2, it might be a little bit more than 2 cups, but I like a little bit extra in mine. So I'm going to use this whole thing rather than using some fresh tomatoes. You can do fresh tomatoes as well. You just pour it right on in. And since I only did the 10 cups of water, not the 12, what I can do is instead of wasting what's inside, I can put some water inside and swish it around, and that'll give me some extra water. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. And put that off to the side. And the next thing is the Daikon Radish. So I went and I cut them into slices, and then I made them into little half moons, so you can see here. And we're just simply going to put it in the pot. And that's what's great about this recipe. It's just like put everything in the pot and let it boil. All right, what's next? So now we're going to do the lemon juice. So I went ahead and took a full lemon, and in my recipe it says 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So you can see this is probably about 1/4, so 1 large lemon should get you going. So I'm gonna put that in there, and that's gonna give it some really good flavor. And then I think tamarind sauce is coming up. You can use the real tamarind and scrape it out, but if you want to make your life easier, I got Glory Bee organic tamarind puree, and I'm not sponsored by them, I'm just showing you what I use. And well, how much do I have of that? So tamarind pulp, so 1 teaspoon. Now I happen to like a little bit extra tamarind, so I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons, but I put the recipe so that if someone is trying this for the first time, they can have it as they would like. Probably pretty general. But as you go along, you can start changing things to the tastes that you like. Oops, I lost my spoon in there. Did you see that? All right, so as my spoon needs a little push here, give me a moment. I'm gonna just get the rest of that tamarind off my teaspoon here. And if you have ever tried tamarind, it has this like sweet and sour kind of taste. It's really awesome. Put that in my sink. All right, and then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. And just so you know, I do have children, so I try my best to not have my children in the film, but sometimes they walk across the room. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. I'm gonna shake it by eyesight, but you can do teaspoons. And you'll notice I usually use just regular spoons because I'm usually in a hurry with my kids. And feel free to use regular measuring spoons, they'll come out to the same thing. But I'm just gonna eye this, and what I'm doing is I'm replicating the Mamacita's flavor packet that most Filipinos will use when they go to Asian markets or to Owa Jamaya, which is located in the Pacific Northwest where I used to live. And same with the onion powder, I believe we're gonna do about 2 teaspoons. So again, I'm just gonna shake it, and you can go ahead and measure out the 2 teaspoons. But as long as you're not baking, like I always tell people, you can just do it by sight and by flavor and knowing what you like. So we got that there, and then we're going to put in the salt, the pepper, and if you're using the chili flakes. So I have my nettle salt, and again, this is all by taste, so there's nothing really specific. I'm gonna put quite a bit of salt in here. And it's mixed with nettle, which is great for your hair and for your bones, and it has silica in it. I'm going to do a little bit of my Celtic sea salt too, because sometimes it's not as strong when it's mixed with the nettle, so I'll just get the rest of this. I want to refill this anyhow. And I do keep my salt in jars. For easy access, I always leave them on the counter. And then we have pepper, so I'm just going to open this up and again put it to my liking. Looks like I need to refill my salt and my pepper. Oh my goodness. All right, what else do we need? And then the chili flakes or chili peppers. So I am using, where did I put them? Ah, here they are. These are Serrano chilies, so I've already sliced them up. I'm gonna put them inside. Now what I do as a little trick and tip is I put them in the freezer, and when I'm ready to use them, I just defrost them and cut them. And another tip is I take these ends and I save them for my homemade vegetable broth for other recipes. So be sure to hold on to all the tops of things. You'll find that extremely useful. And let's go ahead and start boiling this. So I'm going to put my burner on high. And normally I would put on my fan, but it would make it so that you can't really hear me. So I'm just going to let that be. And I'm going to cover it and bring it to a boil. Now once it comes to a boil, then I can add my okra, my green beans, and my spinach, and I can boil it again. And then at the very end, I'll add the jackfruit. Because if I add it too soon, the jackfruit will just kind of fall apart and be really stringy. Also to note, if you are growing your own okra and you're harvesting it really late, it can be really tough. So let me show you while this is boiling here. I'm going to put that a little bit higher. let me show you what I mean by that. So here's okra that I got from my garden, and I had frozen it because I didn't need it at that time, and now I'm ready to make some sinigang. And again, sinigang means soup in Tagalog, and that's what's spoken in the Philippines. So you can see here I have some large pieces. I'm going to kind of balance this on my leg. But do you see these large pieces? These were really hard to cut. So they're going to be kind of stringy. I'll still throw them in the soup, but they won't be as nice to chew. And so you just want to keep that in mind, that you really want to pay attention to when you're harvesting the okra, and it can make a huge difference. And then we're waiting for that to boil. So I have the spinach over here, and it's really that easy. So what I will do, rather than keeping you on so that you don't have to wait this whole time, is I will just show a picture in the thumbnail of the final product, and then you can go ahead and try this recipe yourself. So if you've liked this recipe, if you've tried it, let me know in the comments below. If you want to find more information about me, you can go to @rainbow_food_rocks on Instagram. You can also find my essential oil and hydrosol products. I am @rainbowherbals on Instagram. And what you would want to do is go to rainbowherbals.com if you're looking to buy some essential oils, hydrosols, or if you're looking for my other services. So I do want to let you know I have a special going on. It's a summer special. You'd have to use the capital letter summer special, and you get 20% off of any essential oil and hydrosol. So I highly encourage you to check that out. And then other services I offer are remote Reiki sessions. I do health and wellness consultations, and I do life coaching. And just to reiterate, I do have some classes coming up. I have the webinar, Food as Medicine, which you can find on my website in the blog section. And I have my yoga classes. And if you're interested in registering for the yoga classes, what you want to do is go to the store at rainbowherbals.com and go as if you're going to go shopping and just register for the class. It's $10 per person, and it's good for just one class. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the ins and outs of the pose as we're doing a pose. And if you like this, please go check out Rainbow Healing and Wellness on YouTube, and you will find my next yoga video where I'm also advertising this yoga class. So again, thank you for being here. Please like, subscribe, share with like-minded people, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao!